I don't think we're going to find a bigger set on any other hero in this game. So let's get her digits. Ishtar! Oh, she's here! So many people are excited. I've heard the name before, and I can see why people are excited. Look at that stat line. It is wonderful for a mage. Just to get some comparisons out of the way, a lot of people are going to take a look at her and compare her to Lind because she seems to be missing from any kind of summonable banner. She's basically very comparable with her, except she has one less attack. So, I mean, if you're like, who's the better Blade Tome user? It's still Lind. She still has it, but it's only by one attack. So, just get that out of the way now. If you want a Blade Tome user, you've been dying, you don't like Tail to yes, you could give her a Blade Tome if you want to, and she's going to perform that job very well. That's done and over with. Let's take a look at what she swings with Mjolnir. This is the reason why you don't want to turn her into a Blade Tome user. This is a really, really nice book she hits people with, giving her that 6 boost whenever she's initiating on attack there, giving her that special trigger cooldown. That's a very important combo, as it turns out. She comes with Moonbow. It's actually a good choice if you're going to leave her as is and you're not relying on too many other outside factors. Moonbow is going to go ahead and give her that 30% reduction to the enemy's defenses whenever you whack them, which is pretty nice, and it's going to go off basically every combat, assuming you double. Speaking of doubling, Swift Sparrow is her A slot, giving her that +4 attack and speed on initiation, so it looks like it's a player phase unit. I hope you realize that. Advantage, though, is here in case you didn't realize that. Ugh. And her C slot is the much talked about introduction of odd attack wave on odd number of rounds in combat. She's going to get herself and all the allies adjacent to her +6 to attack. It's really interesting. That deserves its own video, so I'm not going to push more talk of Ishtar off talking about that. I will say that I do evaluate most of the stuff as if it is on, and I will talk about what happens when it's off too, so just so we're on the level. Let's go ahead and go into the first build, budget build as always. Really, there's not a lot of tweaks here. The big surprise to this is getting rid of Moonbow. I just said it was good, right? Well, the thing here is that she has enough umph as it is, because, I mean, on the odd number rounds, she basically has +10 attack, +10 speed. That's overwhelming. That's 58 neutral IVs. That's 58 attack. That's 46 speed. That you don't need any more than that on anything. So if you're gonna kill so many things, you might as well sub that out for Draconic Aura. And what that's going to do is going to go down to 2 cooldown, double tap somebody, it's charged for the next fight. As long as you're on an odd number fight, she could still kill plenty of things on even number fight. And it's okay if you attack with that charged on even number fight. But on that odd number fight, when she has that 58 attack, neutral IV, that's going to be a small nuke. You don't need Desperation for her B slot, which is good because there's other things that you could put into there. Speaking of which, I will give a shout out to Blue Tomebreaker. It's technically budget by my definition, but it's on a very, very limited unit, and it is not summonable at all. So, it's sort of like just a pipe dream, and as you're going to see in a moment, there are better things you could do, but I just want to give an honorable mention to Blue Tomebreaker. But if we are talking budget build, really, Vantage is terrible. It's not going to do anything for you. So you might as well go ahead and upgrade to Desperation. You don't necessarily need it unless you're going through chain challenges, Tempest Trials, stuff like that. If that's what you're doing with her, then yeah, you need Desperation. Everybody needs Desperation if that's what you're doing. Otherwise, no, you can sub this out for practically anything else because she's going to get her 2 kills a fight. Otherwise, so yeah, that's good. And she doesn't really 26 is the least I recommend for ploys, and I don't really, for how rare they are, I usually don't recommend that people burn them on a unit that has 26, but honestly 26 resistance neutral is okay. That's where her super boon is, by the way, is in resistance. It goes up to 30. She's still outclassed, but you know, she can still carry a ploy very well if you don't like this odd attack wave, and if you want to switch out to a different type of buff of some sort, no criticism from me, but like I said, basically I'm keeping this on for all the builds and evaluating as if it is there, because it is so powerful when it works, and it's guaranteed to work for her every other round, basically, so why not? And so now I'm going to go ahead and talk about a full build here. There's not a heck of a lot different. Really all it is the B slot, and there's two I'm going to talk about here. I'm going to do a full evaluation with guard, and then I'm going to go ahead and come back and talk about what dull range will do in its place, because there are some important differences here. So let's go ahead and talk about this. With guard, it is so crucial, and it gives you a lot of great kills. Let's go into the DPT, Deltran's PvP threats. You know the deal. Link down the doobly-doo if you want to see everybody who's in it. Wow, I've recently gone through, made sure everything is good, everything seems to be updated, and it figures, because then a bunch of great units dropped, and I need to see where they're going to fit. I think it's going to be obvious for some of them. I'm pretty sure Ishtar is going to edge somebody out and get into the DPT, but we will see. Link down the doobly-doo, check it out if you haven't yet. So, going through the obituaries here of who we're winning against, this is on the odd number turns. This is with that full complement of buffs. We get like maybe like a fistful less. We have like maybe 17 wins whenever we don't have the attack wave going, but whenever we do, this is what you're looking at here. And remember, this is without any other outside buffs. Whenever I do these, I evaluate them as if they're an island. This is all they get. The opponents get a lot of buffs, so there's a lot working against you. These are great numbers if if I do say so myself. Not too many units are getting higher than this anymore, and it's just incredible that you are already at this point, and everything that you could do to her stacks. So it's just going to get crazier from here. I'm not going to tell you all the names that are here, but I do want you to pay some special careful attention. You are initiating and killing Fa. You are initiating and killing Zelgius, and the Zelgius in the DPT is brutal. There's several other green units you could do that too, actually, although I wouldn't make a habit of it. As you see on the other side, we're losing to a lot when we initiate into them. So I mean, don't just willy-nilly say like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and destroy this green unit. That's not what she does. But she can very thoroughly wreck pretty much everything else, and that is wonderful. If you take a look at the flip side, we're not that good of a defender, which you would think we'd be okay. I mean, 26, you're like, well, you should be able to take a hit. No, 26 is garbage resistance. The only thing that's saving our bacon here is our speed. So she's not gonna ever be an enemy phase kind of baiting unit. You could get fancy with it, go and do some quick riposte or something like that if you think you need to have that doubling speed. She has a high speed. She's not getting any better on enemy phase. She really is pure offense, and that's one of the problems with her is that no, she's not going to be taking hits. So you'd think that you'd want to have if you're doing chain challenges, do desperation. You'd think you'd always want to have desperation, but she's so weak that you need to have a B slot that's going to protect her, and that's why I am proposing guard to you as the best variant of what to go with. There's a big problem with guard, and it is because it is only 200 skill points, 300 once you inherit it onto her, but it's a 200 skill point skill, and if you don't know what that means, it's basically, I'm starting to talk about arena points. You're already going to be putting Aether on her if you're serious about running her in arena. Sad but true. So you're already missing that pop on every other round with Draconic Aura. And you're probably looking at this going like, well, no, I have to run a skill that has more oomph to it skill point wise, but is still potent. And dull range is actually a really nice substitute. As a matter of fact, with dull range, you can stop dying to people in the DPT like Olwen, who, yeah, you no longer die to her. That is so incredible. That shows you how powerful she is and just how great her speed is, how decent enough. I mean, she has high hit points for a mage, period, okay? 38 is really good. Tailtea has 39, just to compare it in the same class. That's a lot of hit points for a mage. And then combine that with the resistance of 26 and the high speed, you'd think you'd be able to live, and so that helps you once you get rid of all the buffs. Dull range is great, and you're probably going to see that on a lot of high-tier arena versions of Ishtar. But here's the shoe dropping. you can't beat Zelgius. You can't beat a supported, even minimally supported. You can't beat a minimally supported, well-built Zelgius. And it sickens me to say a blue mage with this much power can't kill Zelgius. And that's why I can't recommend all range. I don't think that I'm putting dull range on mine. I have some dull range fodder. I have some other fodder for guard. And I've played around with the numbers for both because I don't have that many feathers to actually test the whole things, but that's where the numbers fall, is that, you know what, Zelgius is going to give you a problem if you have dull range. Just be careful, okay? Because I know a lot of people are going to still put dull range on her just for the arena points. Renewal is cute, but isn't going to get you through anywhere. Poison Strike isn't worthwhile. There's nothing else really to talk about substituting in here. Quick Riposte is stupid. But when it comes down to it, those are your two options. Guard is what's going to get you through. Sorry that you're leaving some arena points on the table. She's a dominating unit. If you can't stay in top tier with this particular unit, please talk to me in Discord. I'd like to be able to help you with your team setup so that you can stay up there. So is Ishtar what you've been waiting for, or are you disappointed? Let me know down in the comments, and do me a favor. If you like your Fire Emblem information hot and fresh like Grandma's cookies, hit that subscribe button. My name is Deltran. Thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate all of you. I truly do. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. And until next time, take it easy.